perfect match. That's why we always were doing the Furry Friend Finder update.
And we're going to have those on Thursdays at noon.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
This is CBS News New York.
Welcome to CBS News New York. I'm Cindy Hsu, and here's what's coming up right now at 9:30.
Since the dam broke, all of the water was rushing in, and it broke the side of my bulkhead.
After this past Sunday's major storm, a road in Suffolk County washed away, stranding a group of residents from driving out. The plan to fix this fast. Plus,
okay, thumbs up from the cops. We found our missing child.
a child reported missing in Brooklyn, but the search came to a quick end when Chopper 2 arrived on the scene. We're going to show you how it all unfolded. Plus, it all comes to an end this Sunday for WCBS News Radio 880. How staffers, past and present, are coming together to honor the station one final time. Before we get to those stories and more, I want to catch up with meteorologist John Elliott with the First Alert forecast. And John, this is the day, perfect day. Is it a good beach weather, though?
It is going to be a great beach day. And guess what? Tomorrow's even better. So in that respect, we mean low rip current risk. So you still need sunscreen. Want to make sure you're staying safe, but would encourage you to go enjoy, support the local businesses. So many of them family-owned, Jersey Shore and out on the island as well. And also, I know this is kind of a big ask, but you got to be mindful of the folks, particularly in Suffolk County and in central Connecticut, that have suffered so much with the flooding rains Sunday night into Monday of this past week. Go and savor it and enjoy it. Air quality is starting to suffer a little bit just because it's warmer, and pollen. Just ask Cindy. Pollen is still pretty high.
Yeah, it definitely is. All right, let's talk weather for baseball, football, pickleball, tennis weather.
Everything. We are your sports connection.
Yes, we are.
So for baseball, let's see. It's great for the game tonight. I wonder what the series is going to be like. Oh, yeah, it's great. Saturday's going to be warm. Sunday's going to be fine. Baseball and football. Football, nice for preseason fun. New York Yankees and the Jets. And then for, she's talking about the U.S. Open. That's Monday. The thing about Monday is we have to leave in the chance of a shower or thunderstorm. And the thing about the U.S. Open is, you know, the whole character of this amazing event changes as we center into the, you know, covered stadium, the Louis Armstrong. But Monday, there's a chance of a shower or thunderstorm. So that's what we're going to be fine-tuning.
All right, let's talk lunch. What's for lunch?
Really? That's not like you to be interested in. It's Cuban sandwich day. Do you like Cuban sandwiches?
I do.
So do I. It's the pickle. It's the pickle and the Swiss cheese. It's buttered corn day. Why not? The fiber is good for you. Sponge cake day. If I have to. It's also Ride the Wind day in honor of man-powered flight. A record was set on this day. Find your inner nerd day. Okay, I just want to tell you, every point up on the GPA for your kids in high school, it's worth 12% in salary over their lifetime. So find your inner nerd. It pays, and you're more interesting at parties.
You are actually one of the biggest nerds I know, but I love you.
I love nerds.
Okay. All right, John, thank you. And despite the nice weekend ahead, some people in Suffolk County still cannot drive beyond their own street due to damage from last weekend's storms, and now they're scrambling to find a solution. It's happening along Mill Creek Road in Head of the Harbor. Lisa Rosner spent the day there and talked with one of the homeowners.
This is how Jennifer Steinberg has to take out the trash, go food shopping, and get deliveries. Head of the Harbor Village police say her street, Mill Creek Road, has a 120-foot section that collapsed Sunday into the body of water below. Police say adjacent Harbor Road had a massive breach, which emptied out into the pond, impacting this street.
That's been very stressful. I'm disabled, and it's very hard for me just to walk even from my drive. You know, it used to be my driveway to my house.
Steinberg and her 2 teenage daughters are one of 7 families who now cannot get out of their dead-end street by car. Steinberg, whose home is right on the water, is seeing her front and backyard slowly dissipating with every high tide.
Every tide that comes in and out takes more of the land away from the bulkhead that's lost.
The mayor says the village is working on an alternative for residents like Steinberg so they don't have to walk on this road.
Everybody worries about seven families who live there and what could happen if they're in an emergency. There is a private homeowner who lives up above these homes on Emmett Drive. And he's graciously considering allowing access over his property to a public road.
The plan is to build out a temporary roadway.
Steinberg says for now her home is habitable, but she worries.
It's so sad. It's very devastating. This house means so much to me in regards to my peace and my serenity.
The police chief and mayor add the roads were built as carriage paths, and they're waiting on FEMA and county funding to find a more permanent solution. In Head of the Harbor Village, New York, Lisa Rosner, CBS News, New York.
The Village tells us they're working with Senator Schumer to get FEMA aid, and they're also hoping the governor declares a state of emergency, which would make way for more funds. Well, the Democratic National Convention wrapped up in Chicago last night. Vice President Kamala Harris accepted her party's nomination for president. In her acceptance speech, she promised to be a president for all Americans. She's also made history as the first Black and South Asian woman to receive a major party's presidential nomination. Caroline Cummings has more from Chicago.
A historic night in Chicago as Vice President Kamala Harris accepted the 2024 Democratic nomination for president.
Let us show each other and the world who we are and what we stand for. Freedom, opportunity, compassion, dignity, fairness, and endless possibilities.
Harris vowed to create an opportunity economy, push for a Middle East ceasefire deal, and revive the failed bipartisan immigration bill.
Last year, Joe and I brought together Democrats and conservative Republicans to write the strongest border bill in decades. The Border Patrol endorsed it. But Donald Trump believes a border deal would hurt his campaign. So he ordered his allies in Congress to kill the deal.
The former California Attorney General also made her case against former President Donald Trump.
In many ways, Donald Trump is an unserious man. But the consequences of putting Donald Trump back in the White House are extremely serious.
Supporters at a watch party in Harris's hometown, Oakland, say the energy during the speech was electrifying.
You tear up because you know how important it is.
The theme of the final day of the Democratic National Convention was For Our Future, with the focus on some key domestic issues.
We have a duty to care for our patriots who serve our nation.
From the military to gun violence.
Our losses do not weaken us. They strengthen our resolve.
The night featured appeals from battleground state Democrats.
Kamala Harris, she gets us.
And a former GOP congressman.
I'm putting our country first.
There were also musical performances from the Chicks and Pink. Caroline Cummings, CBS News, Chicago.
Stay with CBS News New York for continuing coverage leading up to Election Day, on air, online, and on the free CBS News app. Today, a Long Island woman accused of driving under the influence and causing a crash that killed her son will face a judge. We first brought you this story as breaking news yesterday morning. Police say 32-year-old Carrie Bedrick was driving the wrong way on the Southern State Parkway when she slammed into 3 other cars. Her 9-year-old son, Eli Henrys, who was buckled in the back seat, died. 2 other people were injured. We're told that first responders are currently receiving counseling.
The deputy sheriff involved is assigned to our DWI enforcement team and is a certified drug recognition expert. He goes out every night to remove people from the roads that endanger the lives of the public. He will have the image of this young boy's face forever etched in his memory.
Police say Bedrick, who was not seriously injured, had been driving the wrong way for several miles before the crash. An officer actually tried to pull her over, but she allegedly refused to stop. She faces multiple charges, including driving while impaired and unlicensed operation of a motor vehicle. An update to a story we've been covering since May. After a Bronx woman sent us a tip about excessive mold in her home, she's now seeing action by management. For 4 months, Vanessa DePaul, who lives in West Farm, says she has watched her bedroom walls decay and rot as mold grows from wall to wall. She says she's now dealing with the repercussions after she was diagnosed with a lung infection in June for breathing it in. After our story aired, New York City Housing and Preservation Development upgraded a previous mold violation they filed. And on Thursday, crews came to remove this eyesore by demolishing the walls and floorboard. DePaz says it never should have taken management this long to do something.
I'm just going through too much problems, and I feel it's not fair as a tenant to keep going through this when, like I said, these landlords always want rent. But how you going to want rent if you not do the repairs, and then it's like y'all trying to kill me at the mold?
Management on site tells CBS News New York they weren't aware of the HPD violations because they officially took over the building in April and transitioned their management in the summer. When the NYPD reported a missing child in Brooklyn on Thursday, we immediately sent Chopper 2 to the scene. But what we didn't realize is that it would play a crucial role in finding the boy. Hannah Klieger talks to Dan Rice, who's been a helicopter reporter for decades, and says this is a first for him.
Police say the young boy was last seen leaving for school from his home on Avenue P in Midwood around 7 a.m. But he never showed up at school. That's when his loved ones became worried. Our newsroom launched Chopper 2 to this scene to see what was going on. And that's when photojournalist Dan Rice spotted a boy sitting on the roof of this building.
I looked down at my notes. I see what the assignment desk had sent me, and I see what the child was wearing. I look back at the child, and that child was wearing everything that's in the description. He looked to be about 9 years old.
Our news desk called the police, and Chopper waited overhead until they arrived.
He just packs up his computer and his book bag and goes off with the police officers. They looked back at our helicopter, gave us a big thumbs up, and took the child down to his parents.
This man says he was on the roof earlier today and saw the child.
When I went up there with my wife to have coffee, it was about 8 o'clock. There's a swinging bench up there, sort of, and the kid was sitting in the bench, playing on his iPad.
But didn't think anything of it until he heard what happened.
I thought his parents gave him permission to go up there. I didn't even think that, why would the kid, I didn't even think, why would the kid be up there, I mean, it's, it's a community place.
Neighbors say they're relieved to hear he's okay.
That's really exciting. I'm very proud of you guys for finding him.
And as you can imagine, so are we.
To be able to find that child for the parents down in that building, it was a really gratifying experience.
We often launch Chopper when we hear of breaking news, but Dan Rice says this was a first for him and his pilot. In Midwood, Brooklyn, Hannah Klieger, CBS News, New York.
Good job. A reminder that we stream our Chopper feed on our Facebook page, so give us a like and follow. Turn on notifications so you can fly along with us while we're in the air. Well, coming up, a brand new animal shelter in Queens is already facing problems.
In the few weeks that we have been open to the public, we have been overwhelmed.
We head to Ridgewood to find out what's happening to these animals behind closed doors. The first public animal shelter in Queens cost tens of millions of taxpayer dollars to build. Now it's facing numerous claims of poor conditions, including filthy kennels and leaky ceilings. Dave Carlin headed to Ridgewood to find out more.
This is the city-funded Animal Care Centers of NYC's newest shelter in Ridgewood, Queens, with 50,000 square feet of space, a $75 million price tag, and right away, what some are calling messy problems.
In the few weeks that we have been open to the public, we have been overwhelmed.
ACC's president and CEO Risa Weinstock says dogs already number more than 170 with space for only 77, and more than 200 cats, but only space for 110. A person who does work inside the facility took some of the photos and sent us this statement. Animal care standards have been very low. Filthy kennels, lack of water. Many dogs are getting walked once a day, and walks tend to be very short. These unsanitary conditions are detrimental to the health and well-being of the dogs. Weinstock's reaction?
It's important for us to see those photos. We don't shy away from it. We see it and then we say, what happened?
It's brand new, so there are challenges.
New York City Council member Robert Holden went to the facility for a surprise inspection.
They took us around, but I see the challenges. I see what they have to do. It breaks your heart to see, large animals in small cages. There has to be some better way to manage this.
Weinstock says construction is finishing up, and there is room here for expansion. Also on the wish list, hiring more staff and finding more volunteers.
If anybody is looking to work in a fantastic place and make a difference in New York City, this is the place to come.
Everyone involved says the same thing. Members of the community should adopt animals, get involved with rescue communities, and spay and neuter pets. In Ridgewood, Dave Carlin, CBS News, New York.
A bear scare for a family in Connecticut. Home surveillance video shows a Simsbury, Connecticut family enjoying a nice sunny day when they had an unexpected guest. Their 9-year-old son saw the bear first and ran. And once everyone else saw the animal, oh, there it is, they ran as well. The bear simply strolled across the lawn. That's a lucky family. Okay, still ahead. One last goodbye for WCBS 880 before its final broadcast hits the airwaves.
We knew how important it was, we knew how we had to get it right, and we knew that people were listening.
The special tribute for the impassioned team behind the legendary station. It was a radio reunion of familiar names and voices. Dozens of current and former staffers at WCBS 880 joined a special on-air tribute on Thursday as the all-news radio station prepares to sign off. Tony Aiello spoke with some of them about the legacy they leave behind.
There were hugs on the street before they headed up to the studio for 3 hours of radio reminiscing. Wayne Cabot and Paul Murnane were at the mic, News Radio's punniest pair.
And it's going to be a clear night tonight with just about a full moon as it begins to, I always forget, wax or Wayne, which is which?
Your name is Wayne.
Oh, thank you. It's good. Then I'll be waxing tonight, poetic.
For 57 years, the team at 880 narrated the story of New York.
We knew how important it was, we knew how we had to get it right, and we knew that people were listening.
Jane Tillman Irving remembers the thrill she felt, hired at News Radio 880 in the 1970s, joining legends including Ed Bradley.
It has been a part of my life since I was in college.
For those who toil in the vineyard of radio news, landing a gig at 880 put you on the top shelf.
I tried for years and they kept saying no. I would call them every 6 months. I worked at an FM station in New York and I'd say, please, I'll do anything.
Craig Allen and Todd Glickman, both at 880 for more than 40 years.
News and sports and weather and traffic, and everybody listened because they needed to know before they stepped out the door.
It's all part of being a part of the community and the fabric of New York.
30-year station vet Joe Connolly.
So many people have told us so much they'll just miss us. And that made me realize, yes, I'm going to miss WCBS too.
WCBS News 88.
New York is the last American city with 2 all-news radio stations, and when 880 signs off on Sunday, 1010 Wins at 92.3 will be the city's only all-news outlet. We'll be right back. Welcome back to CBS News New York. We have had such a great time being there for you on CBS News New York at 9.
Thank you for spending this time with us. Here's a quick look back at some of the fun we've had the past 2 years.
Good morning on this Monday, September 12th. Welcome to CBS 2 News at 9 a.m. In this Broadway and Beyond, the revival of The Wiz now on stage at the Marquis Theater. It's kind of like Scarecrow, Tin Man. It's so nice to see you in person.
Melba Moore from Broadway with Love.
Excuse
so
me.
much. Hey.
Woo! All right, school is out for the summer, and the kids are ready for some fun in the sun. And the guys on the set are saying, stop it, John. Stop it, John.
You're making a big mess.
Super Bowl is this Sunday, right here on CBS 2, right here. All right, let's talk buffalo wings. Are they a little sweet because they have cranberries?
Yes, this is wonderful. A popular podcast, I'm not making this up, History That Doesn't Suck.
More than 23,000 miles. Greg and John.
And look at the excitement right there. They're still smiling.
Look at you too. Congratulations. Woohoo! National Pie Day. And we're excited to celebrate with the New York staple. I love Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. That's like a big Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. There's a fabulous drag show this Saturday night in Chelsea called Drag Away the Stigma. You are beautiful.
I just really love the idea of putting mental health first.
interest that's always been really prominent in my life.
How did I do? How did I do, Chef?
You can't see
Could I ever get a job?
Well, May is Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month.
I wanted to pay tribute to all the immigrants and the heritage that we bring to this country with hopes and dreams of a better future.
We got 2,000 patches in a month.
Oh my God.
From around the world, mostly from people we didn't know.
Oh, purple's my favorite color.
We did some research.
Oh my gosh, this is so great.
I'm a hand balancing contortionist. I actually went to circus school for this.
Oh my goodness.
So.
Wow.
Can I just say, happy early Mother's Day. I would love to give you some flowers.
Wow, look at
The 66th Annual Grammy Awards are this Sunday right here on CBS.
I feel like women are leading the nominations because women dominated music last year.
Can you give us a little taste of a trick?
Yeah, you guys ready for some
Yes,
close-up?
we're ready.
Yes. It's under your watch.
What? My gosh. That is impossible. I know. Welcome back to CBS 2 News at 9 a.m. Time for this week's Furry Friend Finder, when we help a four-legged friend find a forever home. Disney.
She's a little kitten. She's a very sweet dog. She loves everybody, loves to meet people.
Hugo hears the rain right now.
2.5 years old. He's a Bernese mountain dog.
He's probably not a dog for a studio apartment.
Nope, and he needs attention.
God, I love him! And he gives big kisses.
Oh, cute.
And that does it for us. Here's our behind-the-scenes dream team. This continues on our streaming. I'm Cindy Hsu.
Are we out of time now?
Out of time. We're out of time.
We were going to name everybody.
Woo! Bye.